So today we're going to be talking about is journaling for change. Okay, so journaling for ourselves so that we can get a better knowledge of not just how we feel, but our thoughts and ideas about things and whether or not they're congruent, and then where to go, and then what to do when something happens. Okay, so let's. So what's the purpose of a journal, right? Well, to kind of remember things. Okay, you can write stuff down to get the emotional content of what it means, of what a particular instance in life, or what happened that day, or what happened a while ago, and then you write it down. Some of your ideas about life, your philosophy, some ideas that you picked up from books, right? So basically, what you're doing is that you're gathering as much information, not just about yourself, but about the world around you and the information that's valuable to you, and not just some stuff that you know, might be on a quote unquote test, in school or something like that. And that's not really what we're going for, because this journal is for you, because nobody sees it, right? Nobody checks it. Nobody, the value is that you're writing down your thoughts, you're writing down the things that are valuable, you're writing down ideas, right? So this is a journaling technique that's pretty common. There might be some nuance, and you can definitely change it or do whatever you want. And so this is what you do. So imagine you have an idea, right, of something that you want, of something that, or an idea that you don't want to happen anymore. You notice a pattern of behavior, a mode of behavior that keeps coming up over and over and over again, right? And so we look at it and we're like, okay, so you have problem, blah, 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 blah. Then what you do is that you go through, okay, so you get facts, right? It's quote unquote facts. Well, it doesn't matter what exactly happened that day or what exactly happened during the situation. All we care about is your perceptions on what you think happened, right? What conclusions your mind drew from that situations is all that matters, because that's the stuff that's still there, right? Everything else has been discarded. So that's what we're going to work with. We're going to work with the stuff, our perceptions of the event. So you write down the event, or you don't, not draw a story, right? It's bullet points, because bullet points are far more effective, right? So you draw bullet point, and let's just say that you describe the feeling that you have associated with the idea. You describe the feeling. You describe a thought that has a similar feeling to that, right? That's in relation, right? So you're going through it. You write down another thought that's related to it that seems to be correlated, seems to pop up, kind of like a like imagine if you had like the problem that you're working with, or like the idea that you're working with is like a vine, and all these little ideas and all these little I don't want to say like sub beliefs or thoughts, that kind of sprinkle around. They're like grapes, right? And so what we're doing is that we're just taking account of all the different grapes that are there, the vine. Where does it go? Where does it want to go? And just kind of follow it, right? And sometimes, right, so then we write down kind of our perceptions of it, right? Then what we do is then we refute it, right? If it's something that we really don't want, that we know that we don't want that system of behavior, right, we're going to use every means. We're going to throw the book at this thing, right? And so you'll go in using the meta model or whatever way that you can possibly deconstruct, because the meta model will help guide your questioning so that you can get to more and more and more and more ideas, so you won't be stuck ever, right? Because you'll have plenty of material to work with, plenty. Okay, but the meta model is the tool in which you can, find out what's next, right? And so, and then with this stuff, right? Since this, the whole undertone of why this works and working out this thing is also related with the emotion attached to it, right? So if we're thinking about something that's really unemotional, or like there's a trail that we're going with the meta model that really isn't emotional, or doesn't compel you in any way, or it's kind of you get distracted and it's not really compelling. Well, you know we can prioritize which questions or what ideas have that emotional spark to it, right? So then we can get closer and closer and closer to the core belief or principle that we really think about, right? And then we also have to engage in the fact that we believe in certain things that um, sound terrible, right? Imagine if you believe something and the whole world knew about it, and it wouldn't feel good, right? And that belief, that like angst of, oh my gosh, if anybody knew that I actually believed this, or this was an issue that I was working with, or this event happened, or how I feel about this particular topic or something, right? It can be kind of embarrassing, right? It can be kind of um, something that we want, maybe attempted to block off, to blind ourselves to, even though the most productive thing would be to, not productive, but the thing is that to integrate the whole self, right? The whole thing, it would be to plow right through it and see it for what it is, right? To feel it fully, to feel what that feels like fully. Because chances are, if you don't want to look at it now, you haven't wanted to look at it in the past, right? And when this stuff goes away, when it finally resolves, is when you see it and feel it and sense it and appreciate it fully for what it is. Not hiding anything, not hiding your feelings about it, not trying to, block the pain or somehow reduce it, but you're trying to feel it fully. And using this technique of journaling, you're writing down those emotions of how you feel, right, about the situation. What particularly, if you had to visualize it, what aspects would draw out to you? You could write that down, and then you slowly go through it, and you use your refutation technique to destroy it, debunk it. But there's another aspect, right? There's the aspect of, well, now what if we debunk it, but you still get this feeling that's not it, right? You get this feeling like that's not it, right? Or there's something more. There's something more. Like, I know this is right. I know this thing that I wrote down that I just refuted, than the proposition that I just made in my head, is more correct than what I really feel. But the feeling hasn't caught up with that yet. Well, then what we're going to do is that we're just going to deep dive into that feeling, right? You're going to write down everything that it feels, pain and not pain. Feelings tend to be correspond. Like, have you ever had goosebumps before when you were super surprised or something really great happened? Well, your body reacts to how you think and feel, right? So, if you're have these emotions, right, and there's kind of like this wall, we're trying to break through that wall and actually feel it fully, right? And so thinking those thoughts that bring you that particular emotion that you want to resolve will allow you to kind of open those floodgates to allow to feel fully, right? And then once you feel it, you understand, then we'll begin to understand that all it wanted to do was tell you that this was happening, right? That it did everything that it could. You did everything in the moment that you could do to resolve it, to fix it, to however you acted was correct. And then, and now this bridge, now you have this whole self, and then you have this method that you can use that now, starting now, here's a technique that will be much better. But you get to the essence of the emotion. And once you do, you can say problem solved, right? The idea that we were hiding from no longer stings, right? I've talked about that a lot. But you can use this journaling technique to literally blaze through, like, not once a day. You can, like, whenever you want to. If you find a pattern, or you find some sort of thing that kind of makes you sad, happy, angry, some issue that has some emotional attachment that you don't want to not the emotion itself, but like, you want to resolve the underlying thing under it. Then you can just dig into this for maybe like 15 minutes, and then after that, you get all these things together. You got the logic side, you got the actually feeling the thing fully, so it's not hiding from you anymore, so you can see exactly for what it is. Exactly for what it is, right? When you accept something, you see it for exactly what it is, right? And so after that, then you see everything. You know why it's there. You know what it did. You know what it was trying to do to help you. And then you know that that you're feeling that emotion, right? And that's cool. That's fine. That's perfectly okay to feel whatever emotion. And then, boom, you have the next step, the next solution, the next wise part or method to getting further to where you want to go. So now that emotion no longer has to be attached to it, because you know already, right? It's to tell you what's wrong, right? It's to tell you that blank happened, right? And as soon as you know and you have a method to fix it, and you feel that emotion fully, and it can resolve itself, right? You know, but if we don't see it for what it is, and feel it for what it is, since it's an emotion or whatever, and usually those things stick around if we don't, um, experience them, or we hide them away. It's never going to go away. But as soon as we do, literally a 15-minute journaling session, trying to seek out the source, you find it, you do all those stuff, it won't bother you anymore, right? It won't be that source of contention. You can, and it'll just be data, it'll just be information, and you'll gain a new appreciation of it, but then also something better, because you're constantly progressing towards where you want to go, right? So you can get rid of the roadblocks. You can get rid of the roadblocks and get rid of the resistance in relation to whatever ideas, you want to see forward come in your life, right? So I hope you like this video. It's been a while. It's been a couple of days. So just getting back into it. So here's this. So I just wanted to present you with this journaling technique that has really helped me. So take care, guys. Bye.